Here is an interesting factoid: there's a considerable group of Christians who hate Christmas with the same furor that they hate Halloween. Maybe if you grew up outside the bounds of Christian fundamentalism you are unaware of this group, but I assure you, they are out there. Now, why in the world would Christians, people who claim to follow Jesus, be so incensed over a holiday that celebrates his birth? The reason for that is these Christians believe that Christmas is a pagan holiday. Or at least, that Christmas co-opted a pagan holiday. Even many Christians, who love Christmas, believe in this association with Christmas and an ancient pagan holiday. The basic explanation goes like this. Early Christians lived in a pagan culture that had many celebrations and festivals. In order to slowly influence that culture, it is claimed that Christians began their own celebrations on those same dates in order to provide the culture with an alternative, Christian celebration, sometimes referred to as contextualization. This is claimed to be the case with many Christian holidays. For example, many errantly claim that Easter is rooted in a pagan holiday for the fertility goddess Easter, even though the evidence for that is dubious. Similarly with Christmas, it is argued that December 25th was first the celebration of the birth of the unconquered Son, before Christians tried to hijack it. However, these arguments are ones made by scholars in more recent times. They are really 17th century claims for the Christmas myth, and do not hold up to deeper scrutiny. In fact, there is a far stronger case to be made that the pagan holiday of the birth of the unconquered Son was a ripoff of Christmas, not the other way around. William J. Tighe, in Calculating Christmas, gives a full explanation for how this myth of Christmas being a co-opt of the birth of the unconquered Son came to be. There are two pagan festivals that are usually pointed to as the origin of Christmas, but the evidence for both is pretty thin. The first choice is usually the Saturnalia, the Roman celebration of the god Saturn, which does predate Christmas, but leaves one big, gaping hole in the plot. The Saturnalia kicked off on December 17th every year, and only went up to the 23rd. So if Christmas began as an attempt by Christians to co-opt the Saturnalia, they were literally 2 days late to the party. Telling people to fast when their friends are partying and then party when their friends are nursing hangovers makes for a lousy way to ease the transition from paganism to Christianity, if that was the intent. The other usual suspect is the Sol Invictus, the Feast of the Unconquered Son, which looks like a better choice at first, since it did actually take place on December 25th. The problem with the Sol Invictus is that literally no one celebrated it until Roman Emperor Aurelian instituted it in AD 274, while Christian references to Christ's birth falling on December 25th date all the way back to the early AD 200s. So this was after the acceptance of December 25th being the day Christians celebrated the birth of Christ. As Tighe states, the pagan feast which the Emperor Aurelian instituted on the date in the year 274 was not only an effort to use the winter solstice to make a political statement, but also almost certainly an attempt to give a pagan significance to a date already of importance to Roman Christians. Thus the pagan origins of Christmas is a myth without historical substance. There's no evidence at all of early Christians plotting to co-opt pagan holidays. So, if that's the case, how did we arrive at the everybody-knows factoid of Christmas being a repurposed pagan festival? The idea that Christmas is OMG secretly pagan comes not from first millennium sources, but from Paul Ernst Jablonski. Without citing any real evidence, he just sort of asserted the stuff about Christmas being a reskin of the Sol Invictus, and called it a day. A lot of people, including some Christians, just took him at face value on this, and the rest, as they say, is pseudo-history. But, as popular as Jablonski's ideas managed to get, no one has ever been able to cite any real evidence for them. So, is Christmas a pagan holiday? No. Did early Christians decide to celebrate the birth of Christ as an alternative to a holiday to honor the Son? No again. Yes, Christians and pagans in Rome celebrated a holiday on the same day. But it was Aurelian who tried to co-opt a Christian holiday, instead of the reverse, that is so often claimed.